Boom, boom. Happy Friday, Focus fam. It's Focus Chan. Hope you guys have had a wonderful week. As always, going to hop in here live, do some morning prep, and hopefully help you guys finish the week strong. So with that being said, let's dive right in. As we all know, guys, if you've been following with the overall market, we are in some tricky territory. And if I just clear my chart here real quick, and we take a look at one of my favorite tools called Keltner channels, this truly is just helping us kind of visualize that technical exhaustion where we're near the mean, the 21 EMA, it's all fine and dandy to, rally, rally, rally. Whenever we get towards that, 3 to ATR band, that's when we really just want to kind of be cautious and understand that the market could take a much needed break. So if we take a look guys at last week, we were kind of hovering at that 2 ATR, at that 3 ATR range, and we finally got a pullback right near the mean. And then we proceeded for a new all-time high. We've slowly been trickling down here, not really making much, progress through all-time high. So we definitely could benefit from another reversion to the mean. But other than that, the market's kind of just holding up sideways here. We're seeing some rotation, and overall, we want to be very patient. So let's hop in intraday and talk about a few things. First big thing, guys, I'll be watching is this 4-hour cloud on ES, where last week when we got that drop, this for me was the first target that I was watching to see if the market would hold up and continue to rally. It did exactly that, pretty much kissed the daily mean like we just saw, and we rallied for an all-time high. We kind of topped out here, and again, have kind of trickled down back towards that 4-hour cloud. So I'd truly be looking for the same exact thing, where if we can give it a kiss, I'm going to look for a pop for a new all-time high. Just like here, we gave it a kiss, we popped, new all-time high. So again, guys, really no reason to think to short this market. I understand it's very extended, but you really want to use these tools as your guide to short, where if we don't break below this 4-hour cloud, this is just a healthy pullback. And I would recommend looking to buy the dip every time because that's been the theme of this year. Buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. If we take a look at some key levels to focus on this week, rather for today, one of the bigger things I've been focusing on is just point of control levels. Always one of my favorite levels to focus on. This week, we had it around 43.41, and it stepped up to 43.70. So really referencing both levels here. You can kind of see we're just going back and forth from one to another. So we formed a little downtrend here, and overnight, we actually started to break it coming off of that point of control. So be patient today, guys. We are a little bit in a mess. Doesn't mean we have to explode to the highs, doesn't mean we have to go anywhere. We truly could, if you just look left, get stuck in this chop. But if we do, continue to break this wedge and we do continue to rally, I think it makes a lot of sense to go back and visit point of control today, which currently is that 43.70. So if we just look at our trusty ATR tool, market's up about $7 as I currently speak, and it has about a 38 point ATR. So let's just add another 30 points. And you can see, guys, point of control is only 12 points away. Very logical target for today. Do we rally and break all-time high? I don't know. Technically, if the market wants to, it can. But first and foremost, guys, is I would just watch the bounces back and forth to these point of control levels until the market makes up its mind. If we hop in here to YM, this is by far the strongest index, which is seeing rotation, most importantly. If you take a look, guys, very simply here, always want to recognize, are we seeing selling in the overall market or are we seeing rotation? If you take a look at NQ, they've been let me zoom out here. They've been very extended, just like ES, kind of sitting at that 3 ATR. And they're finally taking a little bit of a pullback here. While they've taken that pullback, YM has kind of taken the chance to pop off of this mean and slowly try to work its way for a new all-time high. It is the only index that hasn't made an all-time high yet. ES continues, NQ continues, YM's just waiting. So when this is happening, guys, the market is not going to go lower. If you notice yesterday's session, tech did try to drag the market, but YM held the market up and closed at high of day. That, guys, is rotation. It's that simple. Selling is when everything goes down together, and rotation is when they sell tech and they buy YM. And the result keeps the market kind of just afloat. So a really big thing to watch here today and even into next week for YM is this 4-hour squeeze where, again, guys, they're just holding up here. If this joins the party and everything's selling off, that's true selling. But for now, YM just kind of gearing up here to break this squeeze. We got really nice TTM. We got that 4-hour momentum shifting, giving you that teal dot. this could easily fire and it could easily break all-time high. So really just pay close attention to this one, team, where I think it's the next, index that's going to lead us higher, or vice versa. If it does start to fail with everything else, we could definitely go back down to earth. But for now, this one really wants to go, and I think it's a good compass to keep an eye on. And then again, if we take a look at technology, guys, they're going to get their little pullbacks. They're going to get, their little pops. But overall, they're not selling off either. They're just taking time to go lower while that money can shift into YM. All right, so yesterday, you can see the rotation, guys. YM bleeds. NQ drops all day. What's YM do? It rallies all day. That's rotation. So if you look at NQ here, much like ES, is we just want to pay attention to the big levels below. And one of them is point of control. We had it at 14,714, and it worked its way up to this 14,810-ish. Well, we held it here on Tuesday. We hit all-time high, and we bled all the way right back to it, and we held. So last night, we gone from, yesterday's low on point of control to our new point of control currently. So again, guys, until we break below these levels, there's nothing to worry about on the short side. These are just healthy little resets. And much like ES, this 4-hour cloud is the best place to look for a dip buy, right? We dip, we pop. We dip, we pop. NQ, dips to cloud, big little pop. Dips to cloud yesterday. We'll see if it pops here. And not to be too bullish, guys, I'm just kind of following my plans. If we do break through this cloud, tech's going to get its butt kicked. But until it holds, until it does that and it holds, the show's going to go higher. So we want to be prepared for it. So I hope that helps, guys. That's my analysis here on the overall market. Again, be patient at these levels. Understand, rotation versus selling. Watch those squeezes and just be prepared. One big thing to focus on, which is going to be happening in about 20 minutes, is some economic data. So we take a little peek here. Scroll to Friday. And this is in Eastern time. So I'm personally in Central time. So again, at 8:30, an hour before the bell, we get our retail sales. This isn't usually too insane of an economic release, but it is an important one, especially with, the current economy, COVID, all that fun stuff. Money likes to see what's going on with retail. Do we have inflation? Are people still spending? All that fancy fun stuff that we need to pay attention to. So again, guys, it's going to drop here in a few minutes. You might want to tweak your plans. Does this launch the market higher? Does it launch the market lower? Does it do absolutely nothing? I don't know. We're going to find out. So definitely keep an eye on that. Don't look at this guy. He's creeping me out. But that being said, let's hop into a few setups here, guys, because we do have a few good ones for today to end the week strong. And the first one's going to be NVIDIA. So if we take a look at NVIDIA, they're getting a much needed sell-off here. They've rallied so hard into earnings, into the stock split announcement, and they're going to have to deal with the stock split next week. And more specifically, next Tuesday is when that stock split will actually occur on the 20th. So again, guys, very bullish on NVIDIA overall, just because that's how stock splits have been in the past. Apple stock split, they bought that thing to the last minute. Tesla stock split, they bought that thing to the last minute. Do they do it on NVIDIA? I don't know, but I'll be ready for it. So with extensions here, I was getting really sick of even looking at NVIDIA. It would just sit at 3 ATR and grind. So unhealthy. And it finally is falling off a little cliff here and making that reversion to the mean. They are losing the mean here, so we do want to be careful buying the dip. It kind of fell to the mean yesterday and then broke right through it. But it did stop right at this little support level, just call it 755-ish. So I'm going to keep a close eye on NVIDIA today, guys. I really want to see, does it bounce off of this little level and work its way back to the daily mean? So just kind of that textbook reversion on the upside, just like it made the reversion to the downside. If you're too high, you got to come back to this level. If you're too low, you get a good chance of coming back to that level. It's like a magnet if you're familiar with it. About a 21-point ATR for NVIDIA. So just from prior day's close, you guys can see getting back to our mean is about 18 points. So that really would be just the mission for NVIDIA today. It might be hard to pop that hard because it has sold off straight. So just be patient on this one. It might just go sideways. Who knows? It might rip. I know a lot of people are going to be watching NVIDIA leading into the split, so keep it on your radar. But two ways to approach it, guys. If it pops slightly and fails, I think it could fall back, break that 755, and start a nice little decent drop here. Again, we have a 21-point ATR, so my next key level is about 21 points away in ATR. So see if we hold this level, guys, and breach and work our way down towards 735, or do we hold up here and see a decent little pop to kind of end the week for NVIDIA? And again, guys, keep in mind, it might just sit here and go sideways. So be very patient. Next setup, guys, is Facebook, where again, they're kind of very extended and they're taking time to give us a really nice pullback here. This is important when I want to watch at the daily mean, the 21 EMA, right? Last little dip by here was a beautiful bounce. Last little dip by here was another beautiful bounce. Little extreme selling. So again, just like NVIDIA, no need to rush into these dip buys. See if technology starts to pop. But anytime we near the mean, I'm always ready to play. So if we hop in and check out Facebook this morning, they're just kind of glued to that daily mean, that daily 21 exponential, which is currently about 345. So I don't have much expectations here, guys, for Facebook. I do want to see what they do at the mean. Do they, again, just like NVIDIA, do they get back to it? Do they reject it? Do they hold it? Or do they rip through it? It's really one or the other. So be patient, but an ATR about $7. Point of control is about 8.5 away. High of day yesterday is about 5 away. So that's really what I would target, is can it bounce off the zone, clear the mean and hold, and work its way up towards, these prior lows and even up towards 350. Not my favorite setup here, guys, but one name that I did just want to cover slightly. The next one is Roku, which I like a lot more. And again, guys, it's kind of all kind of the same theme here, where a lot of names were so extended, they reached that 3 Keltner ATR, aka they need a damn pullback, and we got a pullback. Roku hit the mean last week, and popped really nicely back to point of control around 433. And now they're back to the mean here. So really want to pay close attention to this one. Again, patience, guys. It's all going to depend on what technology does. If technology goes lower, these setups aren't going to pop. They might just base and wait. Where if tech does start to rally, is a good place to look for some dip buys, especially at these levels. So for Roku here, 2 levels to watch, guys. If we look left, this breakout level of 397.69, you can just call it 400. That's exactly where Roku stopped yesterday. If you look at a 1-minute chart, kissed it, and then proceeded to pop multiple points, 5, 6, 7 points. Really defended it nicely. So as long as Roku holds that key level, I'm going to remain very bullish. But again, just like all the other setups we covered, if they can't get back through the daily mean, be patient, guys. So 410 really is the pivot that Roku needs to clear here. So starting at it, guys, it might go a bit lower. So again, just a few things to watch here. It might go a bit lower, might give you a higher low to play a bounce off of. Maybe it just goes back down to that 397 and you play a dip buy again. Or maybe you do nothing. But as long as it's sitting here, guys, be a bit patient. I will be open-minded to playing the zone again, playing higher lows like we just discussed, or even just letting it consolidate and break back through 410. Looking to get back to yesterday's hot. With ATR here of about 18 points, that's about 13 points away. Point of control is my target leading into next week. So this could be a good dip buy for next week as well. Point of control is about 27, 28 points away. So that's a little, over their ATR. Call it 2 ATRs almost. So don't expect them to rally today. But if they hold here, this is a really nice setup that could either play today for a little bit, position yourself for next week, or just keep an eye on for next week. Where again, if it continues to hold here, I'll be looking for that pushback to 433. Because if you guys look left, this already happened. We reverted to the mean, and then we ripped a point of control. We're back to the mean. Let's see if we ripped a point of control. Just be patient, guys. And again, I really would consider, if it does nothing, looking at next week's options, just to kind of position yourself, if you like Roku and are bullish, for that pushback to 430 next week. That's what I'll be looking for here today. And the final setup, guys, is Shopify. And it's actually not showing here on TOS News, but Shopify did catch an upgrade today. I'm just pulling up my phone. Shopify got an upgrade from the National Bank of Canada, raising the PT to 2,000 from 1,650. So pretty good upgrade here, guys, given Shopify. Let me get rid of that. Shopify currently sits at 1440. They're giving it an all-time high upgrade. So nothing too insane, but take a look at Shop, guys. Again, like every other setup, they rallied. They're taking a little pullback to the mean. I just want to see if they pop, or do they consolidate and eventually go next week. Again, guys, I'm not very bearish on the market right now. If for some reason we break down, these can all be really good shorts as well. But until we're proven wrong, I think it's smart to look for dip buys at these means, because that's what happens in strong bullish markets. We rally, we pull back to the mean, and then we explode. We pull back to the mean, we'll see if we explode again. So for Shop, the level I want to focus on most, guys, is obviously that daily mean zone with yesterday as a low. And if we can break out of this key zone, we have point of control above. So again, not really expecting us to rip to point of control in one day, but with an ATR here about 56 points, it could, if it wants. We're about 52 points away from that level and about 39 points off of all-time high. So again, guys, be patient. All of these setups are kind of fitting the same criteria where they're sitting at the mean, they're basing near the mean, the market's kind of just going sideways. We just got to wait and see. So I hope that helps, guys. That's my focus for today. Again, I'll be watching ES. Does it rally back to point of control? 43.70 through this little wedge. So far, so good. Pay attention to retail sales at 8:30 Eastern time. So in about 15 minutes, we're going to get that information. Does it cause us to pop? Does it cause us to drop? I don't know. YM, watch that 4-hour squeeze, watch rotation. If YM goes up and NQ goes down, ES ain't going anywhere. If they all go up together, I think YM could get that new all-time high today. Watch that 4-hour squeeze. And again, guys, for NQ here, as long as they hold 4-hour cloud, as long as they hold point of control, buy the dip. It works every time. 14,714, 14,810. As long as it's above this range, guys, very, very bullish. And right now it's breaking through that point of control. We'll see if it works its way up to yesterday's hot. And then again, guys, real quick, just for a recap, going to be keeping an eye on NVIDIA. Do we get that bounce back to the mean, or do we short it back down to 735? Really nice zones here today. Another thing to watch is Facebook. Does it reclaim the mean and start to work its way back towards 350? Roku, same setup. Does it hold this key level, reclaim the mean, and start to rally back? And then fitting the script, same setup, guys. Does it hold the mean and start to work its way back? So that's the game plan, guys. That's the theme for today. We're getting our healthy pullback. We just need to see, do they come back into these stocks, or do they take a little break and pick it up next week? But thank you guys so much for watching and listening. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, because I'll be doing these every Friday. But finish the week strong, guys. If you need me, you know where to find me. But